Ariba StartSourcing, sourcing better for better commerce.
Congratulations on your purchase of Ariba StartSourcing, the quickest and most impactful tool for establishing sourcing projects, finding and qualifying suppliers, and negotiating best value deals. This video tutorial will show you how to navigate around the Ariba StartSourcing system. Let's get started. This is how the screen looks when you log into Ariba StartSourcing. This is the home dashboard. It is broken up into three major areas. At the top we have our tabs and menu items. The left-hand side we have the common actions and recently viewed widgets. And in the middle we have the dashboard widgets that show you different information, gives you access to different functionalities. Let's go through each of these individually. Up at the top are tabs. This is the home dashboard. We also have a sourcing dashboard, and we have a supplier dashboard. The supplier and sourcing dashboards have subsets of information that's available off of the home tab. In addition to the tabs at the top, you have different menu options: the Create, Search, Manage, Recent, and Preferences. Let's start with Create. Here you can create a sourcing project, you can create an additional supplier, you can create a supplier discovery post. I actually explained supplier discovery in more detail in the creating an event video, but in short, it is an extra solution that is a part of Ariba StartSourcing that allows you to create a posting on discovery and allow you to discover additional suppliers that you can add to your event. Currently, Discovery has over 500,000 suppliers that you can match based on your event commodity, location, and find the right suppliers and qualify them and then add them to your sourcing event. The search allows you to search all the different types of documents that we have in the system. Most times you'll be searching on events and your suppliers. In Manage, this is where you can handle administrative functions like creating users. You can administer the sourcing library. Let me show you that. This is where you can store documents and content that you plan to use on a regular basis. So I've created two folders. Standard sourcing documents, this is where I've stored some documents that I'll attach to events as I create them. And typically these are where you would store documents that you would use over and over and over. Content documents is another folder I created, and this is where you can create snippets of event content. So for example, business conditions questions. This might be something, the type of questions I would like to add to most of my events. So I can actually create this in the library, and then while building my event, I can just pull in this content without having to recreate it each time. This is the sourcing library. Also under Manage is the supplier knowledge area. This is where you can manage the supplier profile questionnaire. This is the questionnaire that all suppliers are asked and prompted to complete upon registering for the first time. You have the ability of managing this, adding questions, making certain questions required, maybe even making some questions conditional based on previous answers to show different questions or sections. This is a good way of gathering general supplier information that you'd like to collect on all your suppliers. Now, under Recent, this is where you'll find a quick way to jump to information that you've recently visited. So in this case, I recently went to the supplier knowledge area. That's at the top. We got the supplier library. Here are some events that I've accessed. So this is a quick way that you can jump to information, documents, events that you've been working on. Preferences. This is where you can control a lot of different preferences related to the system and how you interact with it. Last, we have community. This is where you can access Ariba Exchange. That's our online community where you can interact with buyers and suppliers to better understand sourcing and Ariba StartSourcing. Now let's go back to the home dashboard. On the left-hand side, these are similar actions to what you had up here. You can create, so you can jump real quick to create a sourcing project or a supplier. You can manage, once again, like we were talking about, your sourcing library, supplier knowledge, admin. And then down here is a way you can quick, just like up here in recent, you can jump to recently viewed documents, projects, events within the system. In the middle here is our dashboard and the different widgets contained therein. Each of these are individual contained little widgets. I can click up at the top and drag if I wanted to move this. So let's say I move that down there. And let's say I want to move this right up in here. So you have the way you can control how you want the information to show on the dashboard. You can move it around to any way that you would like. Okay. Now you also have the ability to configure tabs, and in this case I'm going to add some additional information to my dashboard. When I click Add Content, this is where it tells I can add different bits of information to the dashboard. What I'm going to show you is this RSS feed. This is where you can add access to general news or information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a blog that's out on the internet, Supply Excellence, and I am going to click on this RSS feed link, and it's going to give me the actual address for that blog. So I plug that in there and I can say Supply Excellence and say OK, and it will put this onto our dashboard. As you can see right here, it's filling that data in, and let's throw it up here at the top. So that way I always have access to information from this blog. You can add information from any of the other blogs that you might follow or from news sites and really make this a useful portal of information. Go to the Sourcing tab and we can focus more on sourcing related widgets. Here you have the search widget, which you can search for different elements. Typically you'd be searching for events at this place. Down here you have quick access to your most recently created and edited documents, and documents can be actual documents like a Word document, or it can be events or projects. Last, down here we have notifications. This is a repository of all notifications that you've received from all the different events that you are currently running on the system. So in this case I have a message that came from Dan Supplier, and it's related to an event that I'm running, the same event that you see here, and I can click on that and it will actually drill into that event and give me access to the message board so I can see the question that was asked by that supplier. Let's jump back to the Sourcing tab on the dashboard and show you this widget up here. This is the event status grid, and it gives you a breakdown or a grid of your different events, in this case RFI, RFPs, auctions, forward auctions, and the status that they're in. So in this case I have two events that are in draft status, and that means that they have not been published yet. I'm in the process of building them. One's an RFP, one's an auction, and we have one auction that's in pending selection. That means it's ran its course, the event's closed, and it's now waiting for me to decide who the winner is. If you click on this, so I click on that little number 1, and it shows me the events that meet that qualification. In this case, an RFP in draft mode, and there was only one of them. Down here is a widget for supplier discovery posts. This particular user in StartSourcing doesn't have any discovery posts. If you watch the video about creating a sourcing event in Ariba StartSourcing, I go into significant information about creating and managing supplier discovery postings. This concludes our demonstration video for navigating in Ariba StartSourcing. If you have any questions, you can check out the help guide that's available up here at the top. Click Guides, and there's a list of all the training manuals that we have for using Ariba StartSourcing. Don't forget to check out our other demonstration videos, including creating a sourcing event with Ariba StartSourcing and monitoring an active Ariba StartSourcing event. Thank you very much.
Now you can get Ariba's game-changing sourcing technology absolutely free. Visit ariba.com/startsourcing and get started today.